Hi, I'm Josh Bolivant with Trappers Landing Lodge. I'm going to be talking about another alternative technique that I like to use, or it's more of a modification of a great technique that works on Leech Lake. And it's kind of overlooked. It's taken a while for this type of technique to really catch on, but it's an old technique. It started in South Dakota, and I'm talking about the slow death hook. It's got a funky little twist to it. It's an alternative method to Lindy rigging and or pulling spinner rigs. The other thing I like to do to spice mine up is to add these Max Smiley blades to them. They make a variety of colors. I'm going to use a blue one today. I'm going to show you kind of how I rig it, how to tie it, how to use it. They work almost year-round. You use night crawlers with them. You can also, Berkeley came out with some little like chunks of crawler that you can thread on these, and you just thread your night crawler up to there, half crawler, leave a little bit of a tail, and then they do this funky twirl through the water. Really good for enticing walleyes. Works very, very good from fishing opener all the way through the fall. I'll use it all times of the year. A lot of guides kind of keep it in their back pocket if nothing else is working, if their Lindy rigs aren't working, if the crankbaits aren't working. This is a good in-between your jigging and your regular Lindy rigs or that type of aggressive style. So it's kind of an in-between. You can pull these you can pull them up to about 1.5 miles, and you can slow them down to about 3.3 miles per hour. So it's a good alternative when those fish are kind of in a middle mood. They aren't really super aggressive for the day, but it's a good way to still cover water, find fish. So I'm going to start with, I usually use like 12-pound test line out here, but it's very important too. Another little trick I noticed is you're going to see the diameter change on these. So this one may say 12-pound test, but you'll see the diameters 0.013. 0.013 is like the average diameter of like a 10-pound test. So I mainly focus on diameter over pound test line, because you may have some 12-pound tests that is 15-pound test diameter. That's why a lot of the fire lines that are out there are very, very important, because you can have 10-pound tests and 2-pound diameter, so it makes it harder to see. But for most of my leaders, I like 12-pound test. I'll go all the way up to 15-pound fluorocarbon. Fluorocarbon's a very good. I don't usually store my leaders on fluorocarbon because it's got a lot of memory. Some of them do. They're hard, but they're very rock resistant, especially when I'm on a lake that's got some zebra mussels. Out here we're fortunate enough we don't have any yet, but we do got some sharp rocks. But this 12-pound test works very well. So I usually take about 6 feet, so I'm going to do an arm span and about 1 foot, and then I'll take my clippers right now. We're going to clip that. Now the nice thing with the slow death hooks is you don't really need a special knot to tie them with it, so I'm just going to take and do my regular tri-lean knot. Make sure I don't lose this. It's a little bit windy today. Make sure I don't lose the blade. We're just going to tie it like your normal fishing knot. Tie that, and I'll make sure I'll use the clippers if there's any dentists out there. They don't like us really biting our line. I got just went into the dentist the other day, and he knew right away I was a fisherman, so he said you start using clippers. So I always got a nice little pair of clippers with me, and I will attest I got a little groove in my teeth from it. But so we'll take that, we'll stick that down at the end. I'm going to take this tag end. I carry a multitude of variety of beads out there. This fits right in my tackle box. I can fix any color. I can make it right there on the boat. Usually when I'm out in the boat, I'm making them right there. Especially if you break one and you lose maybe your favorite blade or something, carry multiple different blades with you. And beads. I prefer a little bit bigger beads and a little bit of variety. So I'm just going to grab 3 beads, and I'm just going to grab 3. I'm going to do a green and red, so we'll make it the Christmas one here. So everyone likes those. We'll thread on our beads. So, and I'll alternate the colors. And bead choice, it may be overlooked by a lot of anglers. Size of beads for certain times of year. And it's just trying a lot of different sizes until you find those fish, especially when you find them on your locator. They may not like your first presentation that you go through with, or let's say you're fishing next to your buddy and he's catching all the fish and he's got a bead size that's either smaller or bigger than yours. Sometimes that little bit really, really matters. So it's having the option like this with a lot of beads. I'll carry a lot of these smiley faces, and I have a lot of variety of color of these, and some days an orange one may outfish the blue one. A black one may fish better than the silver, or it doesn't matter some days. You just found the active fish. Those are always the days I like, but sometimes you can't always have that. So Then I'm going to make sure, so we got our beads on here, so you can kind of see those right there. Now this is where some people kind of put these on backwards. You may not know, you can bend them a little bit. I make sure that the color, and here's my tag line, that the silver side of this, you'll see it'll have a silver side there. Forward or the back side will say Max Lures on the back. That goes towards the hook. So we'll thread it on there. I got about 6 feet for it. And there's your finished smiley face rig with the slow death hook on it. These work excellent almost all times of the year out here on Leech Lake. You just grab some night crawlers or even some of those fake night crawlers. You can see it spinning right now on the wind. It's got some awesome action to it. It's a very easy approach, especially for trolling, especially for beginners. All you got to do is just put the trolling motor down, stick your weight down till it hits the bottom, and you're good to go for trolling. And that brings me to the next point. A lot of people aren't used to the sensitivity or what to use for it. Everyone's different experiences, different stages of it. If I have a kid with me or somebody that doesn't do a lot of sensitivity fishing, I'll use a bigger weight. So this is a 3-ounce weight. And if it's somebody that's kind of really experienced, knows where the rod tip is, you can go all the way down to an ounce, ounce and a half, a little bit smaller. I use a little bit bigger weights, just that way you can alternate them. You can get the feel. If you're going to be in deeper water, obviously use a deeper weight. If you're going to go a little bit faster, use a bigger weight. If you're going to go slower, smaller weights work a little bit better. And a lot of people don't, you see these in your stores, and you're going to tie right to this end, and then we'll connect our leader end right there to our smiley face blade, and you'll drop it straight down with these weights, and as soon as you feel the bottom, you just give it about a foot of line, let them go, and then you just troll along, and as soon as you feel that fish, you can set the hook for it. If you have any more questions on setting this up, feel free to contact me at Trappers Landing Lodge. You can look up our number at www.trapperslandinglodge.com or follow us on Facebook for more tips and information. So next time you're up here visiting Leech Lake, you can catch that trophy walleye.